Hello and good morning and welcome to this mid-morning taste challenge. Good morning to you, Herbie, and India, who's watching, and any other viewers. I have two 40% alcohol mixto tequilas. I'm trying to do all the Sazerac ones first. This is Winn-Dixie Import Premium Tequila. Now the label says silver, but it's the gold. And after I bought this and I came home, I said, wait, this is the silver. But I kept it because I thought it was queer. It was strange. This is also from NOM 1143 NOM number origin of Mexico. That's the distillery number in Mexico, 1143. That's Gonzalez and Gonzalez. So they did the El Toro and this one. So the only thing wrong is that they put the wrong label on it. It should have put the gold label. But the labels are identical, except one says gold and one says silver. It comes in this beautiful plastic bottle. Nothing says quality like a plastic bottle, right? Herbie says 3 drinks down with tandoori chicken. I'd like to try tandoori chicken. Okay, so it says over here, imported and bottled by Wide World Importers, Frankfort, Kentucky, tequila. Winn-Dixie Liquors, quality guaranteed. Winn-Dixie Liquors. If you go to Florida, they have actual liquor stores called Winn-Dixie Liquor. Because in Florida, you can't sell liquor out of a grocery store. But I'm not aware of any Winn-Dixie liquor stores in Louisiana because I just bought this off the shelf at Winn-Dixie going down the aisle. Winn-Dixie sells liquor and always has here. Let me update the notes. Wide World Importers. Bottled by Wide World Importers. So the ones you get at Winn-Dixie say Wide World Importers, which is maybe a division of Sazerac that handles Buffalo Trace, that handles Winn-Dixie stores. Clay oven burnt chicken. Sounds good. Okay, not as long as it's not too burnt. Okay, so there you go. I should have done this one first because Winn-Dixie was established in 1955 with the merger of Winn and Dixie grocery stores, 2 different chains, Winn Grocery and Dixie. But I don't know if they sold a private label liquor since 55, though. El Toro was 59, so, but they might have, so I probably should have done this first. So this one's not a very dark product. It looks dark through the plastic, but if you look at it in the glass, you can see that's pretty pale. Pale, slightly greenish gold straw. Now here's the competitor, Bandolero. I have seen the plastic Bandolero bottles, the big handles. Bandolero, introduced in 1987 by a company, was probably always made by some Mexican company, but it was a private label for Safeway groceries stores, Safeway grocery chain, and they still hold the trademark. But Safeway is owned by Albertsons these days. I don't know when they bought it, but at some point. And Albertsons owns many grocery chains. So there's the agave plant, product especial, special product, Bandolero Gold. Now notice it's not called Bandolero Gold Tequila. It's called Bandolero Gold. And then there's a description below, tequila with natural flavors. So can you add flavoring or coloring to tequila? No. You cannot. You say, but it's on the bottle. Yeah, no, it's not a tequila. It's a tequila with natural flavors added. A distilled spirit specialty. It's not illegal because it's in its own category of what the government calls something that doesn't fit any other category. So the law is kind of funny, like it'll say on the chart, tequila Is flavoring allowed? Answer, no. Coloring allowed? Answer, no. But they're not selling it as a tequila. They're selling it as a tequila with natural flavors. See the difference? It's very common in India. You can check it out on Google. We have some Indian restaurants here run by people from India, and I will try it one day, I think. Joe Hill says, what are the odds of there being multi-city protests this weekend with there also being Trump's big, beautiful parade? I really don't know. I'm not a procrastinator. Well, maybe sometimes I could be a procrastinator. I'm not a prognosticator is what I was trying to say. I'm not a prognosticator. Let's hope the odds are 0. All right. But you can't ever take a communist for granted. You know, you never can say, well, communists aren't going to be bad. Well, by definition, they're going to be bad. So, okay. So I got to close my eye. Oh, website. There is a website for this on Winn-Dixie's. I'll show it to you. Winn-Dixie silver. Now they're only showing the silver right now because if you go to Winn-Dixie, whatever store you're looking at, if they don't have it in stock, list it. It's like the product doesn't exist, but they've got it around. And now tomorrow or later, I might check their website and it'll be showing. Doesn't matter. They're going to sell them at the same price, $18.99. Got to buy it in the store, so you can't do curbside. They're not going to deliver it to your house. $18.99 for this big handle. I think I paid $17.99 back when I bought it. I was a couple of years ago. Silver or gold, like I told you, I have the gold. And here's some of the other tequilas they've got in stock today. Like I said, they only show it. They only show it if they've got it in stock. Patron, Terramana, Jose Cuervo, Casamigos, 1800, Espolon, El Espolon, Herradura. Same stuff you see everywhere. Cabo Wabo, El Jimador, Olmeca Altos. Like, don't you see this at every liquor store? Yes, you do. Hornitos, another common one. Camarena, Familia Camarena, see that all around. Cazadoras, see that everywhere. Margaritaville, yeah, I do see that one actually, that price. Montezuma, cheap one, yeah, you do see that around actually, and the white, silver. Yeah, and then there's these blends, these ready-to-drink items, which many stores do also sell. Okay, now you get the picture. We get the picture. If it's made in the USA, it won't be the same taste. No, these cannot be made in the United States. Yeah, let's hope not. Just heard some talk of it on the news this morning. Will there be Thunder and Thursday or Fin? Well, the news likes to build all that up because they want people to watch. They want ratings, you know. So they love any kind of conflict. When a war breaks out, they love wars, you know, because it's better than showing like a community guard. Look, these children are planting tomatoes, which is a good thing, but then they don't really want to show that. And on Fandango, I can't do it. No. Could do Thunder and Thursday, though, now that you mention it. Well, tell you what, I'll ask the people what they think. And if they want to do Thunder and Thursday, we'll do it at 6:30 Eastern. If they're not interested, we'll just forget it, you know, because Friday I got something to do and these things happen. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I totally forgot about Thunder and Thursday. I don't know why, but yeah, I'll ask them. Probably they're going to say, nah, they don't want to do it, but they might shock me. So We'll see. Now, I have to close my eyes because if I glance down and see that super pale, I mean, you could see one is almost clear. I can't look, but you could, hopefully it's focusing. You can see one is almost clear. They call it gold, but they ought to call it barely gold. So what are they doing with Bandolero? They're taking tequila from Mexico. They're shipping it to Kentucky. They're adding some kind of natural flavoring, which I don't know what it is, maybe vanilla, who knows? And they're bottling it. Well, of course, they blend it first. They have some kind of machine that blends it, bottling, some kind of equipment. But it is, the tequila has to be from Mexico. And that's what the guy on the phone told me, because I called. I was like, this doesn't have a number of origin in Mexico. And he was like, well, he gave some answer that didn't make sense. And now I'm realizing that it's a distilled spirit specialty, technically not a tequila. Practically, yes. In a pure legal sense, no. Or strict legal sense. All right. But you'll always see it in a tequila section, obviously. Now, there's one called tortilla or tostada, and it doesn't even claim, it just says made with tequila, grain neutral spirits, and flavoring. So they don't eat, but they put that in this tequila section too. That's definitely not a tequila, but a lot of people use it in their cocktails, whatever. It's probably fine, but yeah, that's really pushing the envelope on that one. Yeah, it smells like agave nectar. Doesn't have much aroma. A little agave tequila. This smells like water, like tap water. If I take a deep inhalation, I can pick up a little bit of that pepperiness and tequila-ness, but it's minimal. This one here, I get more, but I don't get much more. So, oh, price. Like I said, I paid $17.99 for the Winn-Dixie, but now they've gone up to $18.99. I paid $5.98 at Star for this Bandolero. $5.98. Wasn't planning to go any higher than that. I wasn't going to go higher than that. I guess I'd have paid $6.99, but no higher. I'm not paying a lot for something I figure is not going to be any good, and it's not any good. Okay. Taste. Yeah. These tequilas coming from Gonzalez and Gonzalez distillery in Mexico. They have a very common flavor. You get that agave, that peppery agave plant. And as well as I do, it's not going to be more than 51% agave. It's going to be 49% whatever, sugarcane vodka or grain spirits. Doesn't matter. They don't say what it has to be. If you read the regulations, it just says it has to be 51% agave. The other 49 is up to the distiller. Still has to have the aroma and flavor generally associated with tequila. So they couldn't use bourbon as the 49% and have it tasting like bourbon. That would violate the regulation. Okay. Yeah, pretty good. Medium bodied, little oily or silkiness in the mouthfeel, like like an oil. Do they make agave oil? I know you can get grapeseed oil and avocado oil, so why not agave oil, right? This thing here is a wreck. It's the Bandolero. I got it right on one sip. Now, why am I calling it a wreck? because it doesn't have any kind of good flavor. It tastes like really, it tastes like water. It tastes like tap water, vodka filler, and a little bit of tequila. But it's tequila with natural flavors. What it is, they say it very clearly on the bottle. It's tequila with natural flavors. Now, what are the flavors? I don't know. Is tap water a flavoring? Can you say, I want to buy a bottle of tap water flavoring? Because that's what it tastes like, tap water and vodka. But vodka has no flavor. Ideally, it usually does. But I guess you say, yeah, when you're drinking them cheap ones, a really high class vodka is not going to have any flavor or aroma. It's going to have other characteristics that's going to define it, like the body, the mouthfeel, the finish. Okay, I get it. But this thing is just off the wall. Introduced in 1987. It probably was a true tequila in 87. It's probably only since Sazerac got their hands on it that they've, if you want to say, corrupted it down to what it is. It ain't really my problem. Well, I guess it is. I bought it. Brookstone Distilling. Is that a real company? Yeah, it's really owned by Sazerac. Is it just an alias name, or was it actually a company at one time? Well, knowing Sazerac, it probably was a company at one time, but it was probably small, didn't have a lot of support, and they came along and showed them, hey, you want to sell your company? No, we're independent. We're actually independent. How about for this much? Yeah, we'll sell out. Sure. Bye-bye, Brookstone. Sammy Russell. Hey, Sam J. Good morning, everyone. Man, if I told you what time I woke up this morning, you'd gasp or you'd laugh at me. But I wanted to watch all those Major League Baseball highlights, which I did every game. And I watched the highlights for Murray State, University of Kentucky at Duke, and Murray State defeated Duke, upset them, and now is going to the College World Series for the first time. Congratulations to you guys at Murray State University. And I had been Western Kentucky, and I like it. It's flat like Louisiana, it's by the Mississippi River. It's like the Delta. It's like the Mississippi Basin area. It's like low. Got even swamps. There's a highway that runs right along the rivers, United States Highway 51. Goes from where I live all the way to the border of Michigan, the Wisconsin-Michigan border. Ends right at that state line. There's a sign that says end of 51. And when you're driving through Kentucky, it's just a little 2-lane highway. I mean, there's not much traffic on it. Maybe in 1955 there was. But by golly, by the time they built the Interstate 55, that took all. So it's just local now. It's very peaceful because not a lot of traffic, like I said, and it's quiet. There's this famous old Indian mound. There's old Indian mounds there, which I've not visited, but it'd probably be cool. Wycliffe Mounds, called Wycliffe Mounds. It's owned by the state of Kentucky. It looks neat, though. We have some famous mounds in Louisiana. Poverty Point, which I've been to, and that's something to see. Archaeologists can't figure it out. Like, they don't know what it is. Like, they know what it is, but they don't know why it's there. They can't figure it out. But they think it might be the oldest one in the whole United States that they know of. It's just something. I'm saying a state. It might be a federal. I think Poverty Point might be a national historic monument or park, historical park. Well, you heard that? You heard that? Still working though. Wouldn't mind going back to Poverty Point. There's one in Natchez, Mississippi too. There's an old Indian village, they found it like ruins. I think that's owned by the state. It's like a state park or state commemorative area, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying. It's like a state park. And the one I think in Poverty Point is a national park, but I could be wrong. But I think so. Louisiana has a lot of national forests. Kisatchie National Forest. I'd like to visit. I've never been. That's terrible, isn't it? We got a wildlife refuge that I haven't been to. I wanted to go, and they said it was closed because the river was too high and it was flooding into the wildlife refuge, Cat Island. And there's a huge cypress tree, which they think could be the biggest and oldest in the United States. I've seen photos of people standing next to it. It's like you see those redwoods in California, and the person looks like real tiny next to it. That's what it looks like there. Yeah, I might go check that out soon, very soon. All right. Anyway, back to this. Bandolero. That is something else. If you ever want a tequila that tastes like straight water almost, and I know some people they just say, oh, yeah, 40% alcohol, and I like water, so that's a good combo for me. Well, I don't think there's too many people that would say that, but it's going to get beat every time. There's no way. It'll never win any of these challenges. There's no way it's going to win. I can't see that happening. No kind of way. So Bandolero, you little bandit. Dr. Quest wouldn't even adopt you. Anyway, it does exist, and you can be amazed at how many stores sell this. Like, you would think nobody would buy that. Well, apparently millions of people buy it around the United States. Probably more like thousands every month. And so many stores do sell it, and definitely thousands of stores. You say, why are they buying it? Because it's $6.99. Well, yes, that's probably a big part of it. And I paid like I said, I paid $5.98. So I'm not recommending Bandolero at all, unless you like the flavor of tap water. and to close out, Winn-Dixie tequila, I recommend it. Actually, I do recommend this. It's actually good. I'll score it to be like an 8.4. I was going to say 8.3, but I'm going to say 8.4. It's an all right tequila. I mean, it's pretty nice. You get this huge jug for $18.99. Beat that tequila price today. I can't see that happening. I don't see that happening. I don't see anybody beating that price today. I'm not talking about some bunk with natural flavors, some sidestep thing. Talking about a real true tequila, as low grade as it is, and we know it is. Let's see. Let me just test to convert it. $18.99 times 750. $8.14. Nah. Now you're not going to beat that price. I'm talking about for a regular size bottle, $8.14. Not for a pure tequila. Now I'm talking about this funny bunny over here. All right. So if you see products, check the label carefully. And if you're not sure about it, talk to me on Alcohol Eggs on Facebook, and we'll discuss it, because these labels can be very tricky and deceptive, and they're not illegal, because the U.S. government allows a level of deception on them. It allows a level of deception because the U.S. government's whole attitude is this, and it doesn't matter if it was Biden or Trump or whatever. The attitude is generally this way. All you had to do is read the label. That's what they're going to say. Why you didn't read the label? All right? Because you might say, I'm going to court. This is not a tequila. It's a tequila with natural flavors, and I got tricked. Your judges And all of these people are going to say, hey, look, it's right there. You didn't bother to look, and that's on you. So get out of the courtroom. Go away. We got other problems to worry about. That's your issue. Next time, read the label. And they're right. That's what you should do. Read the label and don't complain. Stop being a crybaby. This is liquor reviews, not baby cry. All right. Well, y'all take care. Bye-bye, everybody.